Welcome to your deep dive into the world of number theory. You've given us a really interesting mix of sources here, from ancient Babylonian tablets all the way to modern cryptography.
Yeah, it's a fascinating combination.
It seems you're interested in more than just, crunching numbers. You want to explore the deeper mysteries mathematicians have been kind of wrestling with for centuries.
Absolutely. And I think you'll be surprised by how these seemingly abstract concepts from the past have very real and concrete implications for our lives today.
Okay. All right, let's jump right in. One of your sources is the Plimpton 322 tablet, which dates back to around 1800 BC. It's incredible to think that the Babylonians were already working with Pythagorean triples.
Hmm.
Those sets of numbers like 3, 4, and 5 that satisfy the equation a plus b I at ax plus this conpin long before Pythagoras
Right.
was even born.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it? And what's even more intriguing is that the layout of the tablet suggests the Babylonians may have had an understanding of algebraic identities. They were likely using these Pythagorean triples for practical purposes, like constructing buildings and surveying land.
Wow.
This tablet isn't just a mathematical curiosity. It's a window into a sophisticated ancient culture that was already grappling with complex mathematical ideas.
Yeah, they were ahead of their time.
Yeah.
So we have this advanced mathematical knowledge in ancient Babylon, and then along comes Pythagoras in ancient Greece.
Right.
Now, some of your sources suggest that Pythagoras actually learned from both the Babylonians and the Egyptians.
Mhm.
Is there any truth to that?
Well, it's difficult to say for certain, but the idea of Pythagoras traveling to these ancient civilizations and absorbing their mathematical knowledge is fascinating. It speaks to the interconnectedness of human thought and the way knowledge has always flowed across borders.
Yeah, yeah. I love that idea, a kind of ancient mathematical road trip.
Huh?
So we've got the Babylonians with their practical applications of Pythagorean triples, and then we have the Greeks who seemed a bit more fascinated by the philosophical side of numbers.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
One of your sources mentions these figurate numbers that the Pythagoreans were obsessed with. Can you explain what those are?
Imagine arranging dots into different geometric shapes. For example, 4 dots can form a square, 10 dots can make a triangle, and so on. These are figurate numbers. Now, they might seem a bit like child's play, but the Pythagoreans saw profound meaning in these patterns. They believed these shapes revealed something fundamental about the nature of the universe and its underlying harmony.
Okay, so that's pretty different from how you think about numbers today.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that even back then, mathematicians were looking for patterns and trying to find deeper meaning in the world of numbers. It seems like this search for patterns has been a driving force throughout the history of number theory.
Absolutely. Whether it's the Pythagoreans exploring figurate numbers or modern mathematicians searching for a formula to predict prime numbers, there's this innate human desire to find order and structure in what might seem like a chaotic world.
Yeah, I like that. Speaking of global connections, another one of your sources mentioned the Chinese remainder theorem, which appears in a Chinese mathematical text called the Xinzi Suanjing.
Yes, and while the theorem itself might sound intimidating, it essentially provides a way to solve systems of equations. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a basket of eggs, and you know the remainder when you divide them into groups of 3, 5, and 7. The Chinese remainder theorem gives you a way to figure out the total number of eggs in the basket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes it a little easier to grasp.
Yeah.
But why is this theorem significant in the grand scheme of number theory?
Well, what's fascinating is that this theorem, which has its roots in ancient China, has connections to a wide range of mathematical concepts and has found applications in fields like cryptography, computer science, and even GPS technology. It's a great example of how a seemingly abstract mathematical idea can have unexpected practical uses centuries later.
So from ancient Greece to China, we're seeing these incredible mathematical ideas popping up all over the world.
Exactly.
And now I think it's time to turn our attention to a concept that's truly fundamental to our digital world. Prime numbers.
Yeah.
Prime numbers. I remember learning about them in school, but I never fully grasped why mathematicians have been so captivated by them for centuries. Like, what's the big deal with these numbers that are only divisible by 1 and themselves?
Well, it's a great question, and it gets to the heart of why prime numbers are so fascinating. Think of them as the atoms of the number world.
Okay.
Just like every element is made up of a unique combination of atoms, every whole number greater than 1 can be built from a unique combination of prime numbers through multiplication. This is known as the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, and it's one of the cornerstones of number theory.
So they're kind of like the building blocks of all other numbers,
Mm-hmm.
but that still doesn't explain why mathematicians have been on this epic quest to find a formula to predict them. What makes finding a prime number formula so challenging?
Well, that's the real mystery, isn't it? Prime numbers seem to pop up randomly along the number line. There's no easily discernible pattern to their distribution. It's like they're playing hide and seek with mathematicians. And believe me, some brilliant minds have tried to crack the code, searching for a formula that would spit out prime numbers with perfect accuracy.
So what's the latest on this prime number treasure hunt? Have mathematicians found the Holy Grail?
Not exactly. Well, there have been some formulas proposed, like Mills' theorem and Wright's theorem.
Okay.
They're not quite what mathematicians have been dreaming of. These formulas, while technically correct, are incredibly impractical. They require you to know some prime numbers in advance to generate new ones. It's like having a recipe that says to make this prime number cake, you first need a cup of prime number flour.
So it's a bit of a catch-22. You need primes to find primes. That seems incredibly frustrating. Why do you think prime numbers are so resistant to being captured by a simple formula?
That's a question that has puzzled mathematicians for centuries. It raises deep questions about the nature of randomness and order in the universe. Are prime numbers truly random, or is there some underlying structure we haven't grasped yet? If we could unlock the secret of their distribution, it could have profound implications for our understanding of mathematics and perhaps even the nature of reality itself.
Wow, that's a lot to ponder. So we've got these enigmatic prime numbers that mathematicians have been obsessing over for ages. But where does all this connect to our lives today? You hinted earlier that these ancient mathematical ideas have real-world applications.
And they do. Remember those mystical figurate numbers the Pythagoreans were so fond of? Well, in a way, prime numbers have become the real mystics of the modern age, playing a crucial role in the world of cryptography and online security.
Wait, are you telling me that prime numbers are protecting our online secrets? How is that even possible?
It all boils down to the difficulty of factoring large numbers. Finding the prime factors of a very large number is a computationally expensive task, even for the most powerful computers. And this difficulty is exactly what makes prime-based encryption so secure.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see the connection. So when I'm shopping online or sending an email, prime numbers are working behind the scenes to keep my information safe.
Precisely. Public key cryptography and RSA encryption, which are widely used to secure online communications, rely heavily on the unique properties of prime numbers. In essence, these encryption systems use a pair of keys, one public and one private. The public key can be used by anyone to encrypt a message, but only the person with the private key, which is derived from a pair of very large prime numbers, can decrypt it.
So it's like having a lock that anyone can close, but only the person with the right key based on prime numbers can open.
Exactly.
That's brilliant. It's amazing to think that these ancient mathematical concepts are now the guardians of our digital lives. But I'm curious, are there any other areas where prime numbers are making a big impact?
Absolutely. Prime numbers also play a crucial role in coding theory, which has applications in everything from data compression to error correction in telecommunications. They even have uses in computer science, physics, and, believe it or not, even music theory.
Wow, prime numbers are like the unsung heroes of the modern world.
They are indeed. And what's fascinating is that there's still so much we don't know about them.
Right.
Remember the Riemann hypothesis we touched upon earlier?
Yeah.
It's a conjecture about the distribution of prime numbers.
Right.
And if proven true, it could have huge implications for our understanding of not just mathematics, but also physics, and even the nature of randomness itself.
Okay, I'm officially convinced that prime numbers are far more than just mathematical curiosities. They're powerful tools that are shaping our world in profound ways. But before we wrap up, I have to ask, what are some of the other big mysteries about prime numbers that are keeping mathematicians up at night?
Well, aside from the Riemann hypothesis, there are many intriguing questions about prime numbers that remain unanswered. For example, the twin prime conjecture proposes that there are infinitely many pairs of prime numbers that differ by only two, like 11 and 13 or 17 and 19.
Okay.
But proving this conjecture has eluded mathematicians for centuries.
So even with all the progress we've made in understanding prime numbers, there's still a sense of wonder and mystery surrounding them.
Absolutely. And that's what makes number theory such an exciting field. It's a journey of exploration that began thousands of years ago and continues today, with each new discovery opening up new avenues of inquiry.
It's truly amazing how these seemingly simple numbers can lead us down such deep and complex paths. But I think it's time we move on to our final thoughts on this incredible number theory adventure. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned and explore some of the broader implications of this fascinating field. So we've covered a lot of ground in our deep dive into number theory, from ancient Babylonian tablets to the modern-day magic of prime numbers, keeping our online lives secure.
And what's striking is how this journey through the history of number theory reveals a constant interplay between these abstract mathematical concepts and real-world applications.
Yeah.
Ideas that might seem purely theoretical at first often end up having profound implications for our lives.
Yeah, it's like those aha moments when you suddenly realize that something you thought was just a bunch of numbers on a chalkboard actually underpins the technology we use every day.
Exactly. And it speaks to the power of human curiosity. For centuries, mathematicians have been drawn to the beauty and elegance of number theory, driven by a desire to understand the fundamental principles governing the world of numbers. And as we've seen, this pursuit of knowledge has led to some incredible breakthroughs that have shaped the course of history.
So as we wrap up our exploration of number theory, I'm wondering if we can zoom out a bit and consider the bigger picture. Why should we, in the 21st century, care about these seemingly abstract mathematical concepts? What's the enduring relevance of number theory in a world increasingly dominated by technology?
That's a crucial question. And I think the answer lies in the fact that number theory, while often perceived as purely theoretical, is deeply intertwined with the very fabric of our digital age. From cryptography to coding theory to computer science, number theory provides the foundation for many of the technologies that drive our modern world.
So it's not just about mathematicians solving equations in their ivory towers.
Right.
It's about understanding the tools that are shaping our reality.
Precisely. And what's even more exciting is that we've only just scratched the surface of what we can learn from number theory. The unsolved problems, like the Riemann hypothesis, continue to challenge and inspire mathematicians, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. Who knows what incredible breakthroughs await us as we delve deeper into these mysteries?
It sounds like the journey of number theory is far from over.
Absolutely not. And I believe that anyone, regardless of their mathematical background, can find something to appreciate in the elegance and beauty of number theory. It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity and our capacity to unlock the secrets of the universe one number at a time.
Well said. So for all you listeners out there, I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity about the fascinating world of number theory. It's a world filled with both ancient wisdom and cutting-edge discoveries, and it's a world that's more relevant to our lives than ever before. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to crack the code of the next prime-powered breakthrough. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey.